Chorley Council's YouTube channel. To facilitate this, can I request that when you speak, you use the microphone in front of you, which can be activated by pressing the button on the right-hand side. Once you are finished speaking, please ensure that this is turned off by pressing the button again. I will now ask for the members on my right-hand side and officers on my right-hand side to introduce themselves.
That's Councillor Craig Southern, Borough Councillor for Grafton Moors, Exton South, and member of this committee.
Councillor Gray for Exton.
Good afternoon, my name is Nathan Howson. I'm the Principal Licensed Officer of Chorley Council.
Good afternoon, my name is Usman Gazra, Licensing Officer, Chorley Council.
Good afternoon, my name is Police Sergeant John Lowick from Lancashire Constabulary.
Thank you. Can I ask officers to introduce themselves on my left?
It says Sushma, but I'm actually Elizabeth Walsh. I'm the Legal Services Team Leader. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sushma. I am solicitor in the legal team.
Good afternoon, I'm Christine Wood from Democratic Services to record the minutes. Thank you.
We're also supported by 2 members of the IT department as well. Can I ask the applicant to introduce himself to the committee, please?
Good afternoon. My name is Kunay Kulmaz. I'm new owner of Fab Bar Bistro. Thank you so much.
Just for clarity, you're owner of the premises, the building, not the actual bar.
Sorry.
That was referred to. Yeah, okay, thank you. Therefore, I will open the meeting and we will go to apologies. Apologies. But we have recalled a stand-in, haven't we? Okay, thank you very much. Declarations of interest. If a member has a pecuniary interest, they must withdraw from the meeting. Normally, you should leave the room before the business starts to be discussed. You do, however, have the same right to speak as a member of the public and may remain in the room to enable you to exercise that right and then leave immediately. In either case, you must not seek to improperly influence a decision on the matter. Members, is anybody who wants to declare an interest? If you do believe that you have an interest at any time, please do so. Item number 2, procedure. I do hope everybody's got a copy of the procedure. The hearing will proceed as follows. The committee will first decide whether to allow persons specified on the Regulation 8 notice permission to speak. Then our licensing officer, Usman, will outline the application and any relevant representations. Questions to the licence officer from committee members, the applicant, responsible authority, and then the premises licence holder. At this point, the committee will hear representations from the applicant for review, PC John Lowick. Questions to the applicant for review from committee members, responsible authority, and then the licence holder. The committee will then receive representations from the responsible authority, in this instance Nathan Howson as the licensing principal officer, followed by questions.
We've just been informed that Mr. Tadrick's arrived. Is he okay to arrive, to come in here?
I'm just going to take a short break to discuss this because, subject to information that's been provided, as I
we're not invoking regulation 14, so the police wouldn't have any objection. And out of basic courtesy to Mr. Kelly being present.
right.
Obviously, the decision is yours.
Would you like to take a short break? Just
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Are we okay? Are we streaming? Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for that brief break. However, I am conscious that there are people in the room that weren't in the room prior to the break, so just for clarity, I will start again. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for attending this meeting of the Licensing Act 2003 Subcommittee, Thursday the 19th of September 2024. For those that don't know, my name is Councillor Matthew Lynch. I am the Chair of the Licensing and Public Safety Committee. I am also Chair of this hearing today. Before we start, I would just like to outline some housekeeping rules. There are no planned fire alarms. If there is a fire alarm that does sound, please can I advise you to leave by the nearest exits. Please can I also ask that all mobile phones are switched off. Please note this meeting is being recorded and live streamed via Chorley Council's YouTube channel. To facilitate this, can I request that when you are speaking, you use the microphone in front of you, which can be activated by pressing the button on the right-hand side. Once you have finished speaking, please ensure that it's turned off by again pressing the button. I will ask everybody to introduce themselves again, starting on my right-hand side.
Good afternoon, everybody. Councillor Craig Southern. I'm the Borough Councillor for Croston, Molesey, Exton South, and a member of the Sub-Licensing Committee.
Yeah, I'm Nathan Hassan. I'm the Principal Licensing Officer for Chorley Council.
I'm Osman Gazra, Licensing Officer, Chorley Council.
Police Sergeant John Lovick, I'm the applicant from Lancashire Constabulary.
And can I ask everybody on my left to introduce themselves?
I'm Elizabeth Walsh, I'm the Legal Services Team Leader.
Hi, I'm Sushma, I'm a solicitor in the legal team.
Hi, I'm Christine Wood from Democratic Services to record the minutes. Thank you.
Hi, I'm new premises license holder, Kunay Kulmas. Thank you.
I'm Paul Cassell, manager of Dolce & Blush.
We also have two members of the IT department supporting this meeting and one member of the public. I'll now formally open this meeting. Apologies. Again, I'll repeat that we have found a replacement for Councillor Moss. Item number 1, declarations of interest. If a member has a pecuniary interest, they must withdraw from the meeting. Normally should leave the room before the business starts to be discussed. You do, however, have the same right to speak as a member of the public and may remain in the room to enable you to exercise that right and then leave immediately. In either case, you must not seek to improperly influence the decision on the matter. Does anybody have anything to declare? I'm guessing not. However, if you do, please do so at any time. I think we're up to where we were up to in the first stages. So item number 2, procedure. The committee will first decide whether to allow persons specified on the Regulation 8 notice permission to speak. Then our licensing officer, Osman Gazra, will outline the application and any relevant representations. Questions to the licensing officer from committee members, the applicant, responsible authority, and the premises licence holder. At this point, the committee will hear representations from the applicant for review, PC John Lovick, questions to the applicant for review from committee members, responsible authority and the licence holder. The committee will then receive representations from the responsible authority, in this instance Nathan Housen as the principal licensing officer, questions to the responsible authority from committee members, the applicant for review and then the premises holder. The committee will then receive representations from the new licence holder, questions to the new licence holder from committee members, the applicant for review and responsible authority. I will then invite the applicant for review, responsible authority and the new premises licence holder to sum up in turn if they so wish. Officers and persons who are not directly supporting the committee will then be excluded from the meeting at this point as we enter deliberations, and the YouTube stream will end. Following deliberations, we will request that the licence holder re-enter the meeting so that I can deliver our decision. The new licence holder, applicant for review and responsible authority will be issued with a detailed notice of decision within 5 working days after the hearing. An appeal against the decision of the council may be made to the magistrate courts within 21 days of receipt of the determination notice. The committee need to consider whether to allow persons specified on the Regulation 8 notice permission to speak. Nathan, have there been any requests? Sorry, do apologise. Husband, have there been any requests under Regulation 8?
And Mr. Lovick.
So no requests?
No.
Therefore, can I ask members of the public, as there are no Regulation 8 requests, therefore you will not be permitted to speak. Therefore, we go to item 3, determination of application for the review of premises licence, Fab Bar and Bistro. Can I ask Usman to outline the case, please?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, this is to advise members that an application for the review of a premises licence in respect of Fab Bar and Bistro has been received. And it's to request that members give due consideration to the application and any relevant representations and take such steps as are considered appropriate for the promotion of the licensing objectives. Sorry, Chair. It's just the agenda. Chair, members are reminded of the licensing objectives as follows: prevention of crime and disorder, public safety, prevention of public nuisance and protection of children from harm. Members are also reminded that the duty of the licensing authority is to take steps which are appropriate to promote the licensing objectives in the interest of the wider community and not those of the individual licence holder. There is an appeal if the licence holder wants to appeal against any decision of the council, may be made to the magistrates court within 21 days of receipt of the determination notice, which will be delivered to all relevant parties. Any decision made does not have effect until the end of this period, or if the decision is appealed until the appeal is disposed of. Members must have regards to the following reports: the guidance issued under Section 182 of the Licensing Act 2003, in particular Section 9.31 to 9.44 and Section 11.16 to 11.23. These may guide the members. The Council's statement of licensing policy effective from 2021 and the Licensing Act 2003. We'll just go through a bit of the background, Chair, which is on agenda page 6, item 8. Premises have been licensed in the name of the current premises licence holder, which I believe is now changed, which was Fabulous Entertainment Limited since 10th May 2023. A variation application was submitted on 16th June 2023 for a change of designated premises supervisor, which specified Carl Chadwick as the DPS. A copy of the the previous licence is appended at Appendix 1. Chair, could I just give a bit of a clarity on that?
Yes.
Basically, what it is that when the report was issued and distributed, the current licence holder was Mr. Carl Chadwick for Fab Bar and Bistro. That has now been transferred into a new owner's name, and the DPS is now changed as well. The supplementary report has been submitted, which I believe members have been distributed. I'll go through the remainder of the background, and then if there's any questions, then we can go through that.
I'm certainly sure there will be quite a few questions.
Thank you, Chair. The building is a two-storey semi-detached building next door to other commercial buildings. The premises is located in the main town centre on Market Street and it is opposite the Flatiron car park and other commercial properties with established businesses which also house residents above those premises. The location map of the premises is also appended at Appendix 2. On 31st of July 2024, an application for the review of a premises licence was received from Police Sergeant 2700 John Richard Lovick, Licensing Sergeant, on behalf of the Chief Constable of Lancashire Police. The grounds for the review are as follows. The Constabulary believes that the premises are undermining the licensing objectives of the prevention of crime and disorder and public safety. A copy of the review application is also appended at Appendix 3. On 24th August 2024, PS 2700 John Richard Lovick, Licensing Sergeant, submitted a police disclosure file for Fab Bar and Bistro. This is appended to the report as Appendix 4. The application was advertised in accordance with the regulations in that a notice was displayed at the premises at the council offices, and a copy of the application was published on the council's website for the whole 28 days consultation period. In response to this consultation, on 16th August 2024, Mr. Nathan Howson, Principal Licensing Officer, Team Leader and Authorised Officer of Chorley Council under the Licensing Act 2003, on behalf of Chorley Council, made a representation. This representation is appended at Appendix 5 and relates to the prevention of crime and disorder objective. Moving on to item 17, Chair. Comments from the monitoring officer. The licensing authority is required to hold a hearing to consider the review of a premises licence. The hearing must be held in accordance with the Licensing Act 2003, Regulation 2005. The licensing panel is required to give appropriate weight to the review application. Any representation, including supporting information, the guidance issued pursuant in Section 182 of the Licensing Act 2003, as suggested by the licensing officer within his report and the Council's statement of licensing policy. It should be noted that clear reasons must be given for the decision, and any additional or modified conditions should be practical and enforceable. That applicant for the review, the premises licence holder and any person who made relevant representations would have the right of appeal to a magistrate's court within 21 days from notification of the decision if they felt aggrieved by the decision. That's the end of my report, Chair. If there's any questions, I'll take some questions.
Okay, thank you. Just for clarity, can you confirm that the licence holder for Fab Bar and Bistro at the time of all the recorded incidents that business has ceased trading and the licence holder is no longer licensed.
Chair, I can confirm that the licence holder is no longer the licence holder or the DPS. The business it's empty now, and the new premises licence holders have transferred it into their name. So the licence is currently now in the new premises licence
So,
business.
again, just for clarity, is it your opinion that the business is still the business, it was operating, it has new owner, a new owner of that particular business, or is it a new separate business? I understand it's functioning from the same site. However, what I'm trying to get to is it a new business or is it the existing business?
Chair, in my opinion, it's a new business.
It's a new business.
Yes,
right. So, bearing in mind it is a new business and it is a new application, is there any reason that we are departing from normal procedure where the new applicant would apply as a new application rather than coming to this committee today?
Sorry, Chair, can you just explain?
So today, the hearing was set up to hear the issues that were currently ongoing. That business has ceased. The licence holder is no more. Under normal circumstances, the new application that would come in would be dealt with as a new application and not strictly dealt with at this hearing. I'm just trying to get to understand why we're hearing it under these circumstances.
Chair, I think on this occasion, yes, I would class it as a new application, but with the supplementary reports being submitted with certain conditions on there, I feel, at the end of the day, it's your decision on this, Chair, but I'm just basing it on the new conditions that are being submitted.
I'm just trying to understand why we've slightly moved away from our normal process. My next question is, the conditions, and I appreciate you have agreed to the conditions and the police have agreed to the conditions. Are there any conditions which everybody is happy with that have been put on there because of issues that have arisen from the previous business?
I think that's a question which Sergeant can answer.
I will cover that, Chair.
I'll come back to that. I just find it a little bit. I want to be fair, and I'm just concerned that you have no link to previous issues that may have gone on. And as we are hearing this in a hearing, and we've been submitted with quite a lot of information, I just want to make sure that the committee does not take any decision that is using information that does not relate to the new applicant. And I think I want to be clear on that. That's why I'm asking these questions. Does anybody else have any questions for the licensing officer?
The Chair. Not at this stage, Chair. I'll be guided by yourself, obviously, and it become clear. It is slightly odd the way this is coming for us. And as Chair's pointed out, we want to be fair to the new applicant. So if anything does arise, I reserve the right to come back to us if we need to, Chair.
If it's okay through you, Chair, is it okay for me to clarify the position? So whilst it might seem a bit unusual, as long as the police and the applicant are fully aware and it's agreeable with our licensing team and it meets the objectives, there's no reason why we can't hear it as it is today, as long as all parties are fully aware of why the conditions are on there. As long as the applicant is happy with that, then there's no reason why we can't hear it as it is. It is unusual in terms of we would normally follow the procedure of Patterson's, which is if it's a new application, we would hear it as a new application. But as long as the police and our licensing team and the applicant are happy, there is no reason why we can't hear this application today.
Chair, I understand the concerns and I'll deal with that in my submission.
Thank you. So no further questions from members. Does the applicant have any questions?
I've been in this position a few times where I've put in reviews, predominantly at Preston with fast food outlets because of management issues, and then it's been transferred in the period before the actual hearing, and you know, 2 or 3 times I've been sat here with new applicants and explaining to subcommittees, yes, that went wrong yesterday, but where about tomorrow? And it, rather than me argue today for a revocation, let's get this business up and running.
Any questions for the licensing officer?
I don't have question, but can I just introduce myself to Charlie a little bit? And
When it comes to your
Okay,
time to put forward your submissions, I'm more than happy to listen to it.
thank you.
Okay, thank you. Therefore, can I ask the applicant for review to make the representations regarding the application?
Thank you, Chair. I do appreciate that. This is all relatively straightforward. The licensing sergeant role is about, number 1 on his list is about preventing incidents of crime and disorder. And whenever we see somewhere that takes demand and police officers and ambulances are going on a regular basis, that's when the licensing department will step forward and deal with whatever is appropriate in the circumstances, all right, and utilise the appropriate legislation. And that's been dealt with here. The issues of crime and disorder have been sorted with a review. And the second function of a licensing department is to support and develop local economies. I want to say yes when people say, I want to open this. But they must be able to do it and promote the licensing objectives at the same time. And if they can't promote the licensing objectives, and if they can't police themselves, then obviously we step back in. But I feel in these particular circumstances, the issues of crime and disorder in relation to FABBAR have been dealt with, have been negated by the very fact that the premise licence was transferred on the 16th of September. So the management of FABBAR are no longer in play, so to speak. The issues of crime and disorder are no longer in play. And what we have now is a Mr. Gune Gulmaz, who's now the new premise licence holder, as a designated premise supervisor, and is currently refurbing the venue and intends to open it as a Mediterranean bistro. Now, if you want me to go through the incidents of crime and disorder that took place from June 2023 to me submitting that review on the 31st of July 2024, and all the semantics and finite of it all, I can do that and I can answer any questions that you've got. All right. I will say this, that the DPS, the premise licence holder, who is in the room, opened the venue with good honourable intentions. lost control of the venue, had financial issues. And regardless of what we tried to do together, along with Chorley licensing enforcement, it just didn't work out. And sometimes that happens. And sometimes the police have to step forward and put a review in. And that's what brings us here today. Anyhow, as I said, can you clarify whether you want me to go through the incidents of crime and disorder or not, please?
Sorry, can you just repeat that? Bearing in mind that the licensee at the time is no longer the licensee, I can't see what we are going to gain from going through the incidents other than some kind of medieval abuse of somebody's reputation, hard work at the time, etc., etc. I think we are in a position now where we need to look forwards. So I would rather deal with it in the manner of a new application has come to this committee for our decision, and deal with it as a new application, even though there may not be any concerns that need to be raised.
So Fab Bar is historical, which leads us on to the Mediterranean Bistro and Mr. Gune Gomez. Myself and Licensing Enforcement Chorley Borough Council have spent some time working with Mr. Gomez. We've looked at the venue. He's got the appropriate paperwork in place. We've done our appropriate diligence checks and are satisfied that he's a fit and proper person to be running that venue. We've looked at his business plans and we feel it's going to contribute to the economy of Chorley, which is, as I said, my second objective. We have sat down and we have gone through some conditions which I feel, based on what that venue is going to be, and this is under section 182 of the guidance, are appropriate and proportionate for that particular venue. And Nathan will explain this further in his submission, but I will tell you now that the police fully support these conditions and ask you to endorse them for the good of Chorley. Yesterday, we've moved on from Fab Bar. We want to get this venue up and running to contribute to Chorley's economy. The conditions that have been put forward are not whimsical, they're quite involved. And as I've said before, they are appropriate and proportionate. And to me, that is my job as a licensing sergeant completed. Now, if you've got any questions, then I'm more than happy to take them.
Yeah. Again, just to confirm, these conditions that you have in place, these are judged solely on an individual basis. They are solely for the business plan that you've seen and the offer that will be given. Thank you very much. Any questions from members? Councillor Southern.
Through you, Chair. Not really a question, just to basically say that PC Lover for your pragmatic approach to this. There is no need to go over old ground. We should be looking forward to this, and we're quite happy to take it on your advice, particularly when you clicked on section 182. We're quite happy to be guided by that, so there's no questions on our part from that. This is a new business taken on forward and we'll judge on its merits. Thank you.
Any further questions? Any questions from you, Nathan?
No questions, thanks, Chair.
Any questions from the licence holder? No? Therefore, can I ask Nathan, as representative for the responsible authority, to put forward your submission?
Thank you, Chair. As has been set out, I am appearing here on behalf of the Licensing Authority, and this time as a responsible authority. So in the similar way that PS Lovick is appearing rather than the position that Usman occupies. I'm going to be fairly brief in my oral evidence. You'll have seen I've submitted a really comprehensive history of the premises. I do want to just deal with those issues that you were talking about before, Chair. The duty of the subcommittee here today is to promote the licensing objectives. So it is perfectly normal and usual in a licensing subcommittee dealing with a matter like this for the subcommittee to consider what the business has done in the past, recognise that a new business has opened in that premises, and consider what is appropriate for the promotion of the licensing objectives with that new business in mind. That's perfectly normal for a subcommittee to determine. In the past, I have no doubt that the previous business, Fab Bar and Bistro, was undermining the licensing objectives of the prevention of crime and disorder. As we've said, there is a new business that's been opened in this premises. Everything that has been said in my representation, and you'll see there is a long history, relates to the previous licence holder, who has no involvement in this new business whatsoever, is not involved at all. Between myself and Sergeant Lovick, we have been working closely with the new premises licence holder to come up with a reasonable and proportionate way of disposing with this review application. You'll see that there was a supplementary agenda published, I think yesterday evening, which sets out what we would consider to be the reasonable way to deal with this. There are a number of different measures. It includes reducing the operating hours, the permitted hours of the premises, and also proposes a suite of new conditions, some of which are taken from the old licence, some have been amended, some additional have been imposed, and that is with the mind of what this new business, which is proposed to be opened, is likely to do, how that is going to operate in a completely different way from the previous business. So it's a tailored new operating schedule for this business that, in my opinion, and the opinion of Sergeant Lovick and the constabulary, is an appropriate way to promote the objectives. I don't have anything further, unless there are any questions from the subcommittee. Sorry, I did just have one final thing to say. Just for the avoidance of doubt, it is entirely up to the subcommittee what decision they make. Although there is an agreed position between police, between licensing and between the premises licence holder, it is entirely up to the subcommittee to decide whether or not it is appropriate. However, like I say, it is the opinion of the three parties to this hearing that is the appropriate way to promote the objectives.
Thank you. Questions?
There was one question, I'm looking at the times, 4 o'clock at morning, Friday and Saturday. But since the police seem happy with that,
Just
I'll
for
go along with
clarity,
it.
that is
Yeah.
to be amended from all 400 to 2.
Is it?
So
Oh,
they're going to move it, the proposal is to move it back to 2 o'clock
right.
on a Friday and Saturday. Any further questions?
No further questions from me, Chair, at this stage. Thank you.
Any questions? Any questions for Nathan? No. No representations from others. Therefore, Mr. Gulmers, would you like to put forward your submissions or your representative on your behalf?
Yes, First of all, whatever decision come from this hearing, I respect decision. And I want to say thank you to Chorley Council and Lancashire Police as well for their cooperation. And hopefully, after this decision, we're gonna do something nice in Chorley, and we want to build a nice family restaurant for everyone to welcome. Myself, I've got 2 kids as well, so I want to be a good example for them as well. And I just say thank you so much, whatever decision come from this year. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. I'll go to members. I have one question. Obviously, we've discussed you will be changing the offer. Obviously, you will be employing staff. Will you be seeking to transfer staff over from the previous business to your business? Will you be open to employing the staff that previously worked there?
So my old staff is gonna be new, and I don't know any staff from previous business. And we start taking CV, and my manager next to me as well, Mr. Paul, and he's gonna start taking CVs as well. But we don't have any contact with previous business, or we don't know any staff from previous business. Hopefully, we're gonna hire new staff, and we start taking CV as well. Thank you.
And could you just tell the committee when you take your staff on, what kind of training do you undertake with your staff?
Well, so every position has different training. For example, for bar, we've got different training, and for floor, we've got different training, and for kitchen, we've got different training. So for kitchen, health and safety, and for floor staff, ID check when they're 20, if they doesn't look 25, we let them ID check. Health and safety again, and for bar staff again, health and safety and ID check. At the moment, we've got our deal with that security as well, so we agreed they're gonna do our security as well if we open after 12. And all staff is going through the training depending on their position. Thank you.
So I can see here in condition 13 of the proposed conditions that not only have you agreed to provide training in relation to Challenge 25, but you will also document that training. Is that correct?
Yes.
I think yes covers it. Okay. Any further questions?
Thank you. Through you, Chair, just a quick one. Mr. Gomez, we've seen your perspective. It's comprehensive, and there's already given testament there, but PS Lovick, in terms of due diligence, we're quite happy with this. Obviously, within the Chorley bounds, we do run a few schemes, Pub Watch being one of them. Is it your intention that you will be going towards this sort of accreditation? Not a problem. I'll go slower. It's my North East accent. I do apologise.
I think for clarity, the question is: will you be joining Pub Watch? Are you aware of Pub Watch?
Yes, we are aware of Pub Watch. Yeah.
And you never saw me lips move once there, did you? Thank you. That's basically what we need to. And also, do we have a designated premises supervisor intended for this yet? If it has been appointed, or will this come in terms of your staff training and appointment then?
As a security or as a...
No, so you designated premises supervisor, the person that will be in charge ultimately of the premises. Has this been appointed, or is this to come in terms of your...
Yes, yes.
It has, and that person is...
Sorry?
So...
I think if we ask...
to clarify?
Just clarify.
Chair, a designated premises supervisor has been appointed, and it's the manager.
Right. So it'll be the licence holder
And
the
the man-
DPS.
Fine, that's
Yes.
answered my question.
Thank
Thank you.
Anything further? No, okay. Therefore, can I ask PC Lovick if you've got any? Excellent. Nathan, any questions?
Perhaps, Mr. Gomez, if you could just give an idea of what the business is going to be. Tell us what your offering is going, or tell the subcommittee what the offering is going to be.
Well, since 16 years old, I'm into hospitality, and I started working in hospitality, and it's been 15, 16 years. I open restaurant, bar, clubs, and this is the first experience for me. I've never been hearing before, so I'm a bit excited. I'm sorry, I apologize. We always, when like this is my maybe 7 or 8 venues are opening, and I really like Chorley. I live in Bolton, so I've been working around the business in Urmston, close to Travel Centre. We was doing a nice Mediterranean restaurant, family bar, family restaurant, and in Chorley we want to open new business and see what Chorley actually need. And when we walk around, we do our marketing. We like the premise, but when we try get on the premise, the licensing was an issue. After we got the keys, and the previous tenant is being out by leave, and we go through everything, and when we put our deposit down and everything like that, so we already was in trouble about what happened before. Then we want to open as a nice breakfast, brunch, tapas restaurant bar, like a cocktail bar, and I invite everyone to my inside and see like what we do inside as well. So we do nice decoration, and hopefully it's gonna be nice Mediterranean bistro bar, bistro restaurant. I extend my kitchen a little bit, so before it wasn't any food there or anything like that, but I fit proper kitchen there, and it's gonna be a nice restaurant. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I just assure you that as you're from Bolton, we will not hold that against you, okay? But yeah. Right. Thank you very much. Is there any further questions? No. Then can I ask PC Lovick if you would like to sum up?
Further that I need to say, Chair, to be honest with you. You understand the arguments. We ask you to endorse the recommendations of the police. We respect that it's your call, and we'll stand by whatever decision you make. But for me, my objectives are fulfilled. And if we can get this business up and running for the good of Chorley, and then start employing local people, then that'd be ideal. Thank you very much.
Nathan, would you like to sum up?
No, just a request for the subcommittee to consider the supplementary agenda at agenda page 54 and consider that to be a reasonable and proportionate way of promoting the licensing objectives. Thank you.
Mr. Gomez, any further comments? No. Okay. Okay, thank you very much for your submissions. We will now enter the decision-making process. Can I ask everybody that's not part of that process to exit the room? Thank you very much. Are we sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. The committee has come to a decision. That decision of the committee is to grant the licence subject to the conditions which are modified in A and B, and subject to replacing the existing operating schedule with the suggested conditions 1 to 13. That's the decision of this committee. I would just like to thank everybody for their attendance, and it's a shame the member of the public has gone, because I was just going to highlight that these meetings do take quite a lot of resource, subject to how it's transpired today. I think that under normal conditions, this meeting may not have happened, and the resource that is involved and the time that people have taken, I just wish to thank you all for your attendance today, and hopefully we will all learn from this, and touch wood, it won't happen again. Okay, thank you very much.